Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. I am super excited about this video today because I am releasing another online class. And this online class uses the products in the Floral Romance suite, including the Wonderful Romance bundle, which has the Wonderful Romance stamp set and the Wonderful Floral Frameless dies. The class also includes the Floral Romance Specialty Designer Series paper, the Petal Pink Whisper White 5/8" variegated ribbon, the Frosted Flower embellishments, the Floral Romance seals, and the Lace Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folder. You can get the class for free by purchasing my bundle of products that I'm going to show you here, or you can pay $25 and get the class emailed to you. It is an online class, meaning there are no supplies sent. It is all done over email. There are 8 amazing cards in this class, plus a boxed set of 6 cards, and the box, you are going to love this box. It is amazing. Now, I don't show these projects anywhere online. They are exclusive to the class, so you won't find these projects anywhere else but in my online class. So, as I said, the online class bundle that will get you the class for free includes the Wonderful Romance bundle, which is the stamp set and the die set. And can we just talk about these dies for a minute? Oh my Lord. We have these images that have coordinating dies. So you stamp them, color them, do whatever you want. They have coordinating dies. This fun oval piece is amazing for the sentiments in this set. We have these tiny little flowers. There are 4 of them, even though I have 5 on my sheet. There are 4. You can color them, leave them plain, add them as an embellishment to the oval piece here. You get 4 of those dies. You get 1 of each of the others. Turn this over, and then we have this amazing edgelet die that creates the most beautiful edges to your cards. And then we have 4 different sized leaves, and they all have the veins that get embossed into them. I'm sure you can see that. We have this fine leaf sprig here, again with the veins. And then we have this tiny little sprig here. And those are the dies that are included in the stamp or in the die set. So just alone, these are amazing products, and you're going to love what we've done with these in the class. All right, the Designer Series paper. There are 12 sheets, 4 different designs, 3 of each. You get vellum pieces. That is what makes this paper specialty paper. So holding it up, it's very beautiful. But when you put it on white, oh my gosh, the colors just pop on this. And it's vellum, so it really makes your projects, it's just a wow thing for your projects. We also have this beautiful petal pink lace vellum, which is gorgeous. We have this pattern of the Designer Series paper, which is kind of a speckled pattern. You flip that over and you just have a nice, soft, muted leaf pattern. This one is a little bit more bold with the leaves. And you flip that over and you have this amazing wood grain, which goes with so many things. So we get the cards or the specialty paper in the bundle. The bundle also includes the Lace Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folder. It's one of our larger 6x6 folders. And this is the amazing pattern that you get out of this folder. Isn't that just gorgeous? So I've got that done on some Mossy Meadow, a Whisper White, and then we have just that fun little design here on the Fresh Fig. The bundle also includes the Frosted Flower embellishments, a little package of these. I have already used an entire package of these just about, so I've got this many left. So I had to get another package because they're amazing. We have the Floral Romance seals. Those of you that might remember wax seals on your envelopes will love these little things. They're very flat, so they are not going to add much bulk to your project. So you get a package of these. You get a roll of the Petal Pink Whisper White 5/8" variegated ribbon. Amazing. And then we also included the Fresh Fig 1/8" ribbon from the annual catalog. And you can see that I have loved this ribbon also. It's 10 yards, and I think this is all I have left. So this is also included in the bundle. The bundle is $128, includes the shipping and tax. If you're interested, email me, barbstamps.com, barb@barbstamps.com, and I can send you a PayPal invoice for those products. If you don't want the bundle of products, that's totally fine. You can just go to barbstamps.com, click on the online class button, and purchase the class from me. I will email it to you within 48 hours, but usually within just a few hours. So that's the bundle. So let's get on to the project for today. All right, here is the project in the video. This is an amazing card. I love it. We've got that fun detailed edgelet on the side here. We've got the oval die cut. We've got some splatter stamped on there. We've got some of the fern sprigs. We've got this adorable little frosted flower embellishment. And I'm going to show you a trick to get your rhinestones to stay on these little guys. So let me get my supplies and we'll get started. All right, here are the supplies for the card. I have a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of fresh fig, a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White for the inside, a scrap of white for my stamping. So I'm going to do some stamping first. So I've got my sentiment and I've got a little fern type image. And these are going to be die cut with the Big Shot here. As soon as I'm done stamping them, I will take everything over to the Big Shot and get that done. Okay. Need some fresh fig and our sentiment. About like that. Okay, we don't need those two stamps. Next, I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus for some more stamping. All right, so I have my Stamparatus set up with the small little flower image in this set. And I originally stamped it on a scrap of Whisper White. So I stamped it down, took it to the Big Shot, and cropped it out. And now all I have to do is insert blank pieces each time I want to stamp a flower. So here are just a bunch of little blanks that I have die cut. And they just pop right in there. And then I can ink up my little stamp with my fresh fig. And then when I stamp that, I have a perfect little flower every time. So I'm going to do 3 of those. Each time, just dropping the blank in. Now, if you don't have a Stamparatus, you certainly don't need to do this. You can stamp your little flowers on a scrap and then take them to your Big Shot and, of course, just die cut them all. I've been using this stamp set a lot, and so this is just easier for me to do the little blank method. Okay, so there I have 3 little flowers. Now we're done with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring in my chamois and I'm going to clean this up. And you can see that my chamois is very well loved. It is not dirty by any means. It is just stained. I wash it about once a day. And then I just keep it in an old stamp case and it stays nice and wet. So we're done with this. I'm going to put those up there so I don't lose them. Done with the ink for the moment. So now I'm going to go to the Big Shot. I'm going to use the oval die on my sentiment piece here. And then I have the little fern die that I will use to cut out both of these pieces here. And then I'm also going to bring in that really fancy edgelet piece. This one here, and I'm going to do some die cutting on this piece. So the first thing I need to do is to get this folded in half. And I find when I cut cardstock the long way, when you fold it, you're going against the grain. So if you score it first, you'll just have an easier time folding that. Okay, I need a bone folder here. And just line up the edges. And we'll give it a good score. So now we have a score line there. So what I'm going to do, got my precision base plate here on my magnetic platform. And so I'm going to place the edgelet so that this leaf is the farthest one to the right. So this one's going to be right at the edge of the cardstock. And then I'm just going to have equal distance between these two parts of the die here. Up here you can see where the pattern stops. That's where I'm going to have it be at the top here. So that little pattern is going to line up with my score line. Okay, so I think I have some equal distance there and there. And then I'm going to bring in some washi tape. Whoops, I should have had this done already. And this is just some retired washi tape, so that's why I use it for this purpose. Get this lined up again. One more time, the edge of this leaf is at the edge of your cardstock. The openings here are at your score line, and then of course the bottom doesn't matter. And so I'm just going to use my washi tape, and I'm going to put that on. I'm going to run this through the Big Shot and these, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I am back. I've got my foam mat and my die brush here. Got my die cut piece, and I'm just going to run my die brush down the die here, trying to get all those bits out. Okay, and now we can take this off, carefully removing the washi tape. There we go. And then if there's any little bits left in here, we can just use a piercing tool or a take your pick tool, whatever you have handy, to poke those out. And I personally don't have any trouble with this die. These little bits just come out, no problem. Okay. So you can see that we did get a slight cut line past that, but it's not a big deal. When you have your card all completed and done, no one's going to notice that. So then we're just going to snip this off right at the score line. There we go. Oh, we got one more little bit that we need to poke out. Okay, get this out of the way. I have this piece also, and I just sometimes just like to flick it with my finger here. And most of those bits come out. You can also use a take your pick tool with the pokey end on it to poke out those little bits. And then I did use a little bit of washi tape to keep my dies in place when I ran these through. And so here are my little fern pieces. Okay, so let me sort of clean up my mess. Got all these bits here. Oh, these little guys I need to save. Okay, so these little guys I'm going to color, and I probably should have colored them before I die cut them, but either way is fine. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of adhesive on this scratch paper and stick them down just so they don't move on me. Okay, and I'm going to color them with my light Old Olive marker and my light Mossy Meadow marker. So I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with the light Old Olive, and I'm just going to really do all of these little leaves. All right, and I'm going to bring in the dark, and I'm going to fill in the stems. Or this is the light Mossy Meadow, sorry. Okay, zoom back out. Okay, so we have our little leaves done. And now I need to bring in my 3 little tiny flowers. And I'm going to color those with some Fresh Fig ink and a blender pen. So I have some Fresh Fig ink in the stamp case here. I'll zoom in again. And so I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that Fresh Fig ink. And just lightly color all these little petals. So I'm just dipping it into my ink pad each time to pick up some color. The last one. And now I'm going to dip just into the dark little spots here, just to add a little bit of detail, a little bit of dark to the insides of the flowers. Just a tiny little tap. Don't want it to be super dark. And there's a really fine tip on this blender pen, so that makes it really nice for getting into these small areas. Okay, and then to clean my blender pen, I'm simply going to scribble it on my paper. When it runs clean or clear, it is clean. All right, so let's get this ink out of the way here. Put the lid back on the blender pen. So now we are ready to do some stamping on the front of this piece here. And I'm going to bring in, there's a little dotted image in the stamp set, super cute, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to bring in a little layer of scratch paper so I don't mess up my beautiful new grid paper. And I'm just going to kind of just add a few random little dotted patterns around this piece here. Close it up. Add some to the top. All right, so I'm going to stop there until I get my whole thing put together because I may want to add some more. I just don't know. So we'll go ahead and add our inside layer to the card. Okay. All right, there we go. And then we have our sentiment piece. And I'm going to have that be about, we don't need the scratch paper anymore, about right here on the front of the card. And then I'm going to add my little sprigs behind. So I'm going to have one kind of short and then the other one a little longer. So they're going to be somewhat like that. So I'm going to remove that and we're going to add some adhesive. Oops, I don't think that even came out. There we go. And that was going to be kind of behind that, a little taller. This one. Again, we can put our focal point or our sentiment back for reference where we want that. And then we just slide that little guy in there. Add that. Okay. And then these little tiny flowers I'm going to add with some glue dots. But I think I'll put this on with dimensionals first. So we just need a couple dimensionals here. All right. About like so. Burnish that down again. There we go. Okay, so we need some glue dots. So I'm just going to press these little flowers onto the glue dots. I just changed my mind again. I think I'm only going to use 2. And then we're going to bring in a super sweet little embellishment. We're going to bring in these frosted flower embellishments. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. And I have almost used up an entire package. I've got these few left. And I thought maybe if I added a fresh fig one down here, that would look super good. So I'm going to do something special with it. We're also going to add some rhinestones to the center of these little flowers. Oops, looks like I've got some escaping rhinestones here. All right, so I first need to remove one of these flowers from their little plastics. And we're going to set that right down there. And now these little flowers are very concave, so the centers of these flowers go way down. Our rhinestones do have adhesive backing on them, but the adhesive backing does not stick to anything because it's like open in the center. So if you want to add rhinestones to these little flowers, you do need to use a glue dot. Now a full glue dot is too big. So I have found if I just snip my glue dot in half, so I just kind of pull it up off of the sheet and then it goes flying around, but I see it here. So I have a half of the glue dot right here on the end of my Take Your Pick tool. I'm just going to press that glue dot down into that hole in the flower. Okay. There we go. So we got it down in there. Well, it does not want to come off. What the heck? Okay, there we go. Then we can just pick up a rhinestone, and the rhinestone will now stick to the glue dot that we just placed. Okay. Manipulate that around just a hair. And then I thought maybe we could add some rhinestones to the centers of these tiny little flowers too, because a little bit of bling is never a bad thing. All right. So there it is, some tips and tricks for using the Wonderful Romance Bundle. Remember that I do have my online class for sale right now on my blog, barbstamps.com. You can purchase it for $25, or you can purchase my bundle of products that I showed you earlier in the video and get the class for free. If you have any questions, let me know, Barb at barbstamps.com. And I thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.